times to try and parse the language. And I've just come away concluding there's no, the way I see it, there's no way to argue that this language isn't vague and could invite abuse. And you really have to dig into it. But let me just kind of walk you through, I think, a key part of it. So first of all, this bill doesn't just ban or force the divestiture of TikTok. It goes after what it calls foreign adversary controlled applications. Now, what is a foreign adversary? There are 4 countries that are defined as foreign adversaries. It's basically Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. I'm not super worried about that list of foreign adversaries growing because that does take a bunch of procedural hoops to go through it. What I am concerned about is when the bill talks about what makes a company controlled by a foreign adversary. And if you go to that language, which is in the definition, so, what frequently happens with these bills is that a lot of the meat is actually in the definitions. You have to look at this very carefully. It says here, the term controlled by a foreign adversary means with respect to a covered company that such company or entity is, and then there's 3 categories. The first category is a foreign person, which can also mean a foreign corporation that's domiciled in or is headquartered or has its principal place of business or is organized under the law of foreign adversary country. So that would be like ByteDance, okay? ByteDance is a Chinese company, okay? Then it says, or it can be an entity where 20% of the ownership group is in that foreign person category. So that would be like, let's say you had a US company, but 20% of the company was owned by, I don't know, Chinese VCs or by ByteDance, okay? That would also be controlled by a foreign adversary. Then you get to the provision that I think is the most problematic, which is it's a person subject to the direction or control of a foreign person or entity. The novel language here is where it says subject to the direction of. Okay. It's not just saying under the control of, it's saying subject to the direction of. In my view, that's very vague. And a creative prosecutor, a creative attorney general could try to say, well, wait a second, if Elon has a major Tesla factory in Shanghai, is he subject to the direction of the Chinese Communist Party because they could influence him, they could leverage him? If Donald Trump is accused on virtually a daily basis of being a Russian asset, is he subject to the direction of Vladimir Putin? David Frum just tweeted very recently that he said not only Trump, but the entire Republican Party that works for Trump is under the direction of
that's like
Russians.
A partisan hack, though. That's not like actual factual in a court, right? So this would have to be proven factual in the court.
Okay.
Do you think, or no?
Well, the AG could open an investigation based on the theory that, for example, Trump owns True Social and Trump is under the direction of a foreign adversary, i.e. Putin, because the mainstream media continues to normalize this idea and spread this idea on virtually a daily basis. So the point is that, look, first the AG would open an investigation. You think about the sledgehammer type of remedy here that an Elon or a Trump or you take Rumble, for example, which is also accused of being a Russian agent, they could be forced to divest the company or to have it be banned. So it gives huge, I think, new powers to the executive branch to pursue political opponents and political enemies. Whether they actually win in a court of law down the road is kind of secondary because they can vex and harass their political enemies using this power. So my point is that at a minimum, I think this language needs to get cleaned up.
Yeah,
I think it is way too vague. And you still have the issue of whether it's a good idea or not to force the banning or divestiture of TikTok. But this bill goes way beyond it. Again, it creates this novel category of foreign adversary controlled applications, which also, like I said, includes websites. And that means not just foreign companies, but domestic companies as well that are said to be under the direction of a foreign actor. So again, I don't know how anyone can look at this language and not say it's too vague.
Yeah, it's easy enough to